books with absolutely insane plot twists that will blow your mind. Hello and welcome to another bookish video from me, Johanna, me, my dog and books, featuring Lucy Lou, who will intermittently just bob her head up and down as we go through the best books I recommend if you want your mind blown by an utterly insane plot twist. This isn't your video, not today, Lucy. Okay. Hopefully, some of these you haven't heard of before or you are aware of but have maybe never read. What I will be doing is giving you a very brief synopsis and reasons why I think these books have insane plot twists. So this is spoiler free. If you want any more reading recommendations and some cozy weekend reading vibes, please do subscribe when you get them all. Or just want to see my dogs. Subscribe then too. First up is Behind Our Eyes by Sarah Pinborough. Now, I've read a few of her books and highly recommend it. This one, I can't remember if it's been adapted. By the by, this one will trick you, shock you, and break your brain. It is a psychological thriller about a love triangle that kind of spirals into obsession, secrets, and mind games, all that build up to a shocking twist. The plot itself, the shifts in this plot are bold as. They're cleverly planted. It lulls you into feeling like you know what's going to happen, but you don't. Next is the original, the classic. Well, I'm saying that I do actually have a classic later on, so maybe not. But of its genre, and every book is referred to it forever, ever, amen. It is Gone Girl by Gillian, Flynn, or Sharp Objects, or what's the other one? What's the other one? Let's see. Sharp Objects. I'll put it here. I can't remember. My head's gone. Anyway, if you haven't read Gone Girl, do not be put off by the hype. The hype is real. I prefer the book to the movie, just to let you know. It's basically the OG of plot twists. It's a psychological thriller about a marriage gone wrong, missing wife, suspicious husband, and lies and manipulation. Now, the twists in this plays with your perspective and any sense of reliability. You literally question everything and everyone in this book. It's basically the ultimate thriller that will lie to you, but you'll love it. Now, this one's not a thriller. Sorry, I'm laughing because all you're going to see is the tip of this nose for most of this video. This one is family and courtroom drama. Now, with this book especially, but all of the books, basically don't Google or look at reviews because there will be spoilers. This story is about a mother and son whose lives are totally upended following an accusation. This book delivers such shocking twists, but it's done in such a way where it's almost like peeling back the layers, showing that every character is hiding something. Oh, is it every character? I don't know, but it's showing that people are hiding something. And just when you think you know, the perspective just shifts. But this book is both surprising and emotional, and it pretty much keeps unravelling secrets until the very end, doesn't it, Lucy? Yes. This is one of your faves. Then back to another thriller. It's One of the Good Guys by Araminta Hall, and this one explores gender, power and truth through the story of a man who insists he is one of the good guys, whilst women around him are kind of disappearing. This book just constantly challenges your own assumptions about truth and perspective. You're like questioning the whole time, like, who's controlling this narrative? Is someone controlling this narrative? It basically feels like a book that utterly tricks you, but also extra points on for gender injustice. Another is one that I, and also my friend Carey, who's done a similar thrillers with twisty plots. Twisty plots? Thrillers with basically thrillers with insane plot twists too. So I'll link that in the description below. This one she also mentioned, which is one of my faves up there, and it's actually my first book by Kia Abdullah. It's Next of Kin. This one is more of a courtroom drama where sort of seemingly ordinary but quite devastating mistakes lead to horrific consequences. Maybe check the trigger warnings for this one. This one reads like scarily real, like something that could happen, and it absolutely fractures a family. But most of these books, You kind of think you know what's going on, then boom, the twist comes flying in. It quickly pivots where your sympathies lie, and then you start to question everything. I don't know what it is, but I do love a book that just makes you start to question everything and anything. You're like, I don't know what to believe anymore. It's basically a courtroom drama that flips your loyalties again and again and again. Next up is Flicker in the Dark by Stacy Willingham. This is another psychological thriller where a woman's traumatic past starts to resurface when teenage girls start disappearing in her hometown, and it's eerily reminiscent of the crimes of her serial killer father, who's still incarcerated though. This is a story that plays with memory, trauma, and unreliable perspective. It's also a book that's really good at planting clues, so you start to think you know what's happening, and then the rug is pulled from you, and you discover quite quickly that something darker is happening. Another book, as you'll start to see, there's a theme here where you basically doubt everyone. This is one that's been out for a while. It's Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. And this one is a chilling domestic thriller where we have a couple who have a seemingly perfect marriage that hides really dark secrets when the door's shut. Hence the title. So this story kind of takes a seemingly picture perfect marriage and starts to peel away at it as the reader starts to learn something much more disturbing underneath. And like each revelation feels way more darker than the next. To sum this up in one sentence, the perfect marriage is also the perfect lie. Another one that I've maybe not seen is a book that's previously recommended for its plot twists, but this one absolutely. It is The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. This is more a dystopian thriller, and it's about a young girl who has a unique gift that is seen as the potential to save humanity that is currently trying to survive a deadly infection. And this story is really clever in the way that it kind of challenges your perspective of what you think is happening and the world that it's set in. And just as you start to feel a wee bit comfortable, it starts to unravel unsettling truths, and you're literally kept gripped till the bitter end. It's basically a dystopian thriller that just flips every expectation you might have of it. Now, I would pretty much recommend all the Cinderberry books I've read, which are 3/4 of them pretty much so far, as books with absolutely insane plot twists. But I had to pick one just to give you, but check out Lucinda Berry's books. One is The Phantom Limb. This one is a psychological thriller about twin sisters who are bonded by trauma, whose kind of shared past starts to resurface in like really unexpected ways as they both struggle with love, secrets and survival. This book takes on the deep complicated bond between sisters and dark secrets that happen in this story. And when you think you understand their past and their loyalties to each other as sisters, whoo, the story flips and your perspectives is thrown into the air as you start to question what is true and what is not. Basically, a sister story where nothing is as it seems. Next is a book that I hope to reread in September, and it is None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. I think this one came out in 2024 or 2023. So this is a psychological thriller about a podcaster, yes, who befriends a mysterious woman. Alarm bells. And hence she ends up tangled in a dark and dangerous story where nothing could be trusted, hence the title. Lisa Jewell does a really good job in this book by blurring the lines between truth and lies. You're really like questioning everything as you're going along and you're totally unsure who to believe. And just as I thought I'd kind of sussed out what was going on, I'm like, boom, another plot twist. Ah, no, I had that wrong. Which, as frustrating as that can be, I absolutely love that in a thriller. So, like many of these books, you end up questioning everything, and it is like the ultimate thriller that gaslights you in the best way. Then I have a Shari Lupina, and this one is The Couple Next Door. And this one is a domestic thriller about a couple whose baby goes missing during a dinner party. Like, can you imagine? But this kicks off a whole web of secrets, lies, and shocking betrayals. Seemingly a simple scenario, although utterly devastating, nothing here is what it seems. And what it does start to reveal is lies upon lies upon lies and betrayal. And just when you think you know who to blame in this story, you're like, the twist hits again. And so does who you start to think is responsible. Which basically just makes every character really suspicious until the bitter end. It's page-turning domestic thriller about a dinner party where everything utterly and disastrously unravels. Then we've got another one for you, which is an older one. I think I saw the movie before. Have I read the book? Can't even remember. I have the book. So if it is one that you have seen in a movie, if you don't remember the end, great. If you do, kind of spoils the whole book for you. But it is Shutter Island by Dennis Lehane. So this is a psychological thriller about two US Marshals who are investigating the disappearance on a remote asylum. It's a story about, basically, as are many of these, where nothing is what it seems and reliability is questionable. This story is really good at blurring the lines between illusion and the truth. And every clue that comes up in this book, you could literally read in two ways, which doesn't help with my problem solving, except I am terrible at problem solving in whodunits or thrillers, so that's fine. And so in this story, just when you think you've got it, you 100% don't. Basically, an utterly mind-bending thriller where nothing is what it seems. Next up is a classic. How can I put a list of books with insane plot twists in here and not include Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier? It's a gothic classic, and for those of you who don't know, it is a story about a young bride who arrives at her new husband's grand estate, Manderley, only to find herself haunted by the lingering presence of his past wife and all the secrets that surround her. It's basically one big, deceptive, glamorous marriage in a wonderful grand estate with darker truths behind it all. It's basically turning what you would think is a simple love story into something way more chilling and unexpected. A gothic classic where the dead won't let go. And so if you've not read Rebecca, or you haven't in a long time, highly recommend rereading it or checking it out. And with another, it's maybe not a kind of classic, but it is one of its day. I can't even remember when it came out, but it is The Life of Pi by Jan Mantel. Now, this isn't a thriller. This is a magical survival story about a boy who's stranded on a lifeboat with a Bengali tiger. Yeah. And this story is a big, beautiful blend of spirituality, adventure, and the search for truth. This story is the ultimate at blurring lines between reality, faith, and imagination. It really does, it does a really good job of questioning your sense of truth and belief. It's so beautifully written as well, and I highly recommend, highly recommend the movie adaptation if you've already read the book. This book left me, like, I'm sure I read it for book group, and I remember just like jaw-dropping. It left me stunned, and in a sense of, I had just like an utter sense of reflection, like, wow, like in a profound way. In summary, it's a survival story that makes you question everything. And that, there, friends, are just some of the books I would recommend as having absolutely, utterly insane, bonkers plot twists. If you've got any books with insane plot twists that you want to recommend in the comments, please do. I love to know about any more, and so does anyone else in the comments. And I would like to say thank you as always for liking, for commenting, and if you don't already, please do subscribe. And I shall see you in another bookish video very, very soon. Thanks for watching. Cheerio!